Hey, good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. There are all the ways you can follow us on social media. Right there, you can always email me, send me a text message. It's on the screen. Follow us on YouTube. Let me tell you something. As I was trying to drag, if you're easily offended, you might want to move away today because as I was trying to drag my sorry ass out of bed at 4:15 this morning, I overslept. I get the hell off my back already. All right, 4:15. I didn't get home till like I think I went to bed like 12:45 this morning. Got up at 4:15. But let me tell you why I was out so late. You know, it's like mom says, "What business you got out so late?" Being out so late. There's nothing good happens after midnight, and damn it, I can tell you that's true. But anyhow, I traveled over. Let me just say this: I traveled over to White County, Cleveland last night, Cleveland, Georgia, White County. And I had an opportunity, and I say that because I love every opportunity I get to bring voters information. And I had an opportunity to moderate for about an hour and 25 minutes the probate judge debate. They have an open seat there for probate judge in White County, 4 candidates. And then we took about a 15, 20-minute break, and then we brought in the 5 county candidates for sheriff for White County, and I had an opportunity to moderate that. And then I had an opportunity to tear all the equipment down and drive home. But let me say this, okay? Now, if you're not, most of you are not new to the show, and usually we are breaking down Michael Flynn and what's going on because we know the media will not do that, and we're breaking down other things here. But I want to open up with a couple things. I want to give a shout out to. And I tell you, I get choked up on this because I get choked up on it because I met a new, the 3 hours of moderating debates, preparing 12 hours. Yeah. I mean, set up 2 hours. Okay. Let me get this in perspective. I will get this together. So, not bragging, but when I get ready to do a debate, especially two of them like that, right? I make sure I understand what I'm doing for the most part. So let's say the 2 debates last night, I have a firm 12 hours of prep, reading about the candidates, reading about White County, whatever, 12 hours, we'll call it that. And then we get over there yesterday and we call it a 2-hour window of setting up. Then we have 3 hours of debate, hour and a half break, 3 hours and 15 minutes of debate, okay, that I'm moderating. Then an hour and 15 minutes closing down and getting shut down. But you know what? Meeting the owner of the owner of the meeting place where we were at last night, priceless, man. I would put every hour back into what, and I'm going to look in the camera. I'm exhausted, all right? But damn it, I'll get through it. But I will put every single hour, and I'm going somewhere with this, back. I will do it again all over tomorrow if I get to meet Brian. Well, not myself, but get to meet Brian, the owner. And I get emotional. Give me number 32, because this is America, damn it. This is what the hell's really going on. All right, you got these pieces of garbage like Joe Scarborough and Minka Brzezinski that can't stretch it any further. Okay, she can't even smile, damn it. You got these pieces of garbage that sit out there and ask a question, and Trump says, "Call China, ask them." Oh my God, I happen to be Asian America, and you told me to call China. What the hell? Oh my God, stop the presses. Trump told the little Asian girl to call China. What the hell? What the hell? See, that's usually what's going on, but this is real, okay? And I'm going to tell you, if we don't step up soon, give me number 32, okay? Oh, you already have it. This is Cha Cha's event hall, all right? If you can't read it, we're going to get it on a website. This guy's got 6,000 square feet right over there. You can have a wedding. You can dance the night away, get a band, whatever, you know. You can have your water buffalo meeting, whatever, you know. I mean, Fred Flintstone, the water buffalo. Sorry, so you missed that one. You could do any there at Cha-Cha's Event Hall, right? Now, give me number 33. I'm going somewhere with this, okay? Small Business America. Holy mackerel, I'm about to lose it. Number 33. Look at this beautiful place, man. This is where we had the event last night. Great internet, nice room, plenty of room. There it is. Round tables, 200 seats, a coat room, audio system, you know, full kitchen, 4 washrooms. You know, there you go. Call us today. I'm going somewhere with this. Call us today. And here's the last one, 34. Here's the information you got up there if you would like to call, because I would like for you to schedule your next event, because damn it, we are going to have events again in America. But hey, if you're in this area, I like this guy. There's his information. So let me tell you a little bit here. Go back to 32. This is Cha-Cha's Event Hall. And like I said, I will put every minute back in to what I did just to get to meet Brian, the owner, okay? So he comes over and we're talking. We're setting up in an outstanding guy. He owns the whole center there. $12,000 in canceled events. Canceled events. $12,000 in canceled events in that room. Just like that. Just like that. 12 grand canceled events. Small business owner. Nice guy. This guy's helping me roll up extension cords last night. We're talking and everything. His event hall, $12,000 of cancellations. And the phone's not ringing to set any up soon, anytime soon. Right? I'm telling you, I just want to open with that because everywhere I go, it's Small Business America. And, you know, I know Donald Trump gets it. I really do. I know he gets it. But the layer of pieces of garbage in the government between our president and our small business owners is an enormous pile of you-know-what. So I just wanted to open up. Brian, you're a great guy. Thanks for letting us use Cha-Cha's Event Hall. Wanted to give you a shout out this morning. Small time, small. And the other thing, I want to do one more thing. Okay. I've always said the virus is real. I get it. Get off my ass. All right. I get it. The virus is real. But here's the thing. So a guy calls me yesterday. All right. This happens. It's all day long. You know, it's all day long. You think I just sit here on the damn show. That's what you think. No, when I get done, take a little nap, get up, phone starts ringing. Anyhow, guy calls me yesterday and he says, "Hey, Brian, I want to tell you something." All right. I said, "Okay." So the wife and I, we go to the grocery store. We go to a big grocery store. I will leave the name out. I said, "Okay." He said, "I went in. I didn't usually won't go in, but I went in. And when you go in the door, there's a big produce department to the left." That's all right. He said, "So as she got a cart and started through the store, I just stood up front there for a little bit. And I watched people come in, and I'm going to say they went over and they picked up the tomatoes, and they did this, and they did this, and they put them back down, and they picked up the grapefruits. They put one in a bag and moved along." So next thing you know, somebody else comes in the door. He said, "I stayed there for a good 15 minutes to watch." Somebody else comes in the door. They're picking up the tomatoes and doing this and everything, putting them back down. So I'm using the tomatoes. He said, "I watched about 5 or 6 people rotate through different areas of produce and handle things." What's the point? I'm going to tell you something, all right? This Fauci is a phony, number one. He's connected to money. What the hell? Do you realize? I get tired of being called conspiracy theorists. There is so much. We're opening up the floodgates of trillions of dollars, and now they want to bail out states with our money. This Fauci is only in it for the buck. I'm telling you right now. He is padding the pocket, this guy is. And he's going to come up to Capitol Hill today, or he's going to do it virtually on the internet. He's probably going to wear a damn mask, whatever, on his own internet. But anyhow, Fauci's going to say, "Oh my God, if we open too fast, it'll be unnecessary death. It'll be unnecessary pain, suffering." But as you're slicing off those trillions of dollars, make sure you funnel mine into this account. You think Fauci has given them his direct account number so he could do direct deposit on the damn millions of dollars he's raking in to keep screaming the sky is falling henny penny? Where the hell did I come up with that? So anyhow, the point being is, what the hell's the point? That's the point being. No, I've had it with the BS, because you can't tell me the virus is real. And I keep saying that, and you're tired of me saying that, but you can't tell me, okay, that something's not bad wrong with trying to manipulate us and mind control. I know you don't like that. You know, hey, where's the tinfoil hat? I don't have one, damn it. I'm just telling the truth. They got you scared to death. You go in the store, so you get the virus. Hey, so you get it. Some live, some die. Bada bing, bada boom. Now, we do have to, and my dear friend Raymond, Dr. Raymond Tidman, treat our seniors like fine china. I get it. Treat our seniors. Let's be courteous and respectful to our senior population and treat them like fine china, because they suffer the most if they contract the virus. But there's not a damn newscast that comes on and says, hey, 900 million damn people got infected last week, and 899 million survived, and they could be back to work if you'd let their ass out of the house. Not a newscast one, not a one, right? They don't want us to work. They don't want you to come out of the house. They want to destroy this economy in any kind of way they possibly can to stop Donald J. Trump from a second term, so the deep state bureaucracy can continue to take over and run the damn world, whether you like what I say or not. That's the game plan. All right, I probably should take a break, because this is not the direction I was going. By the way, I want to say, I really enjoyed meeting this guy, the owner of Cha-Cha's Event Hall, and I just want to put it out like that. One thing about the debate last night, and this is what I like to do. My goal has always been, since we started FetchYourNews.com and we get into the election cycle, is to bring you, the voters, enough information for you to decide who you want to vote for. And last night I got a phone call, and the individual said, okay, I just watched the debate. Before the debate started, I was already set on my candidate. Now I think I have another candidate. And I said, look, that's what I was supposed to do. That's what our organization, BKP Politics, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to give you the information to say, hey, I think I like this candidate or not. So I enjoyed that phone call saying, hey, now I'm looking at something different. Folks, you better wake up and smell whatever they say, because I'm telling you, let me read this one little clip, because we're getting ready to get taken to the cleaners as far as, what the hell's wrong? You and I can't go to the damn bank and borrow a damn dime. They look at us, right? Here's just say the damn facts, okay? Go up to the bank. Hey, Mr. Banker, I'd like to borrow this much money. Well, we'd love to be able to help you. You would. Would you really love to be able to help me? Yes, we would. But according to your spreadsheet here and your numbers over here, and, a little shy on the W-2, we're not going to be able to loan you the money. But if you, the federal government, go over and borrow more money and actually use my ass as collateral, that's good today? Oh, sure, that would be fine. We could borrow trillions and trillions off of your ass as collateral, because that's what they do. I'm just telling you, when they borrow these trillions of dollars, it's you, the American people. You are the collateral, period. But you go up to the bank, we wish we could help you. It's not the same with the Fed, boy. They just keep doling it out. Serenity now. Okay, here, let me read this to you really quick, okay? Income tax collections off 46%, April 2019. Corporate income tax were down 70%, right? Sales tax declined 14.3%. Much of the sales tax money was for sales in March, when the state was just beginning to shut down for the pandemic. Other areas of monthly report showed the impact of the economic shutdown. Hotel taxes were off nearly 50%, 50, and the card title and tag fees fell 43%. Where the hell you get your card title and your tag fee from your counties, right? Get ready, folks, because I told you 3 weeks ago who's going to pay the bills. All right. My guest at 9 a.m. this morning, we're going to talk about something else when we get back. My guest at 9 a.m., number one, Georgia House Speaker David Ralston. You know, we're going to ask him because in 2010, when he was sworn in as House Speaker, we were having much the same, not due to the same reasons, economic downturn in Georgia that the state house had to navigate through with Governor Nathan Deal. Now, House Speaker Ralston is back in the same. What did Yogi Berra say? It's deja vu all over again, right? And he is back, and he has to navigate through another economic downturn in Georgia with now Governor Brian Kemp and Lieutenant Governor Jeffrey Duncan. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. I'm your host, BKP. I hope I'm not out there so far we can't get reeled back in, but I'm loving every minute of it. Take a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
As Georgia opens back up, it's time to come back to Days Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings on the North Georgia Mountain's biggest selection of pre-owned vehicles. All makes, all models, all with low miles and a super low price. Or buy new and get 0% financing for 84 months on every single Silverado 1500 or Equinox at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done. Find new roads.
You know, I'm back here. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. There is the way you can contact the show, 706-889-9700. And there's our email address and all the ways to follow us on social media. Now, contact tracing. There's two more things I'd like to do before we get Georgia House Speaker David Ralston on here, because we're going to talk about who's going to pay the bills. Flat out, who's going to pay the bills. I mean, we've talked about it. Are you, the American people, are we going to, we watched trillions of dollars go out the door in 2010. We watched $1 trillion. I have to tell you, I mean, I'm not an economist. I love to study, but I will tell you, in between 2010 and 2020, those 10 years, I learned, arbitrage, is that all right? I learned quantitative easing. So see, I will tell you this, and I don't care to share it with you. The first thing I do when I hear something, I run and I start reading on what is this? And I learned quantitative easing. I was like, what the hell? And when I first, I mean, hell, if you just, you don't know stuff, you don't know stuff, right? So I'm like, the feds today opened the discount window. And I'm like, what the hell, the discount window? Hell, you say? Where was that at when I needed it? Because in 2009, I was like, the Fed once again opened the discount window at a favorable rate. Can I get directions? So I went and studied up the discount window. I know. Bada bing, bada boom. So yesterday, the president's outside and the media is doing everything ludicrous, as crazy as they can to ask questions. So do you have the video? Okay. Now he's being called a racist and everything. Let's play these two reporters in the Rose Garden and what the left is having just a fit over this morning. Can you play the video that we have?
Said many times that the U.S. is doing far better than any other country when it comes to testing.
Yes.
Why does that matter? Why is this a global competition to you if every day Americans are still losing their lives and we're still seeing more cases every day?
Well, they're losing their lives everywhere in the world. And maybe that's a question you should ask China. Don't ask me, ask China that question, okay? When you ask them that question, you may get a very unusual answer. Yes, behind you, please.
Sir, why are you saying that to me specifically?
I'm telling you. I'm not saying it specifically to anybody. I'm saying it to anybody that would ask a nasty question like that.
That's not a nasty question.
Please go ahead.
Why does it matter?
Okay, anybody else? Please, go ahead in the back, please.
I have two questions.
No, it's okay.
But you pointed to me. I have two questions, Mr. President.
Next, please.
But you called on me.
I did, and you didn't respond, and now I'm calling on
Sorry, I just
the young lady in the back, please.
I just wanted to let my colleague finish,
Okay.
but can I ask you
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay, so here's your opportunity. Seriously, close your ears. Go away for just 10 seconds. Okay. The media, if you're watching other channels, wants to lead you to believe he said, Chink called China. Like he called her a name. Right? Stereotype. It didn't happen. So tired of that, of the media trying to make a racial issue. Now, this is intentional. Okay? The media is trying to run with this being a racial issue right off what's happening in Georgia right now. And I forget this young lady's name, the reporter that asked this. But U.S., any other country, okay, why is it a global competition? Okay? Well, if you have the coronavirus Olympics, young lady, and I don't care if you are Asian American, if that's what you want to be called, and I don't care where you were born, but if you want to have the global pandemic, coronavirus, COVID-19, Olympics, because we canceled the real ones, and you want to call it a competition, then maybe you should call China and ask them what happened and why it's important for America, to get the lead on testing. Let me just do this really quick. Let's see if I have it here. Number 31. Okay. Give me number 31. Trump abruptly ends news briefing after clash with reporters. If they actually went there and asked questions, like, Mr. President, are you concerned on that January 5th, was it 5th, that before your inauguration, President Obama led a meeting in the Oval Office, the People's House, with Comey, Clapper, Brennan, all of them, and Brennan is like, are you concerned with it? Never. Testing. I want to talk about testing for a reason, because I want to get to something else here. Trump, there's number 30, right? Got that? All right. Look at this 29. John Carl. I mean, he is a piece of work. Him and his little mask, and they're all in their little mask, and they're all mad because Trump's not wearing his little mask. Trump says the U.S. has prevailed in testing as desktop 80,000. Okay? But why, Mr. President, is it a global competition? I don't know. Ask China. Ask China why it's a global competition. Ask China why they released it from a lab over there accidentally. Ask China why they lied, okay? Ask the World Health Organization why they said it could not human-to-human transmission. Ask the World Health Organization as they helped do the PR lying for China to the world on this pandemic. Ask China why thousands have died in Italy, our friends, Spain, the UK, Germany. Ask China, okay? Why don't you ask China these questions on the global competition? Are you saying that? Why are you asking me that, sir? Because you people keep asking these dumb questions. Why are you saying that to me? Because I'm Asian American? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I got nothing else to do, okay? Today, number 27, Senate witnesses testifying while self-quarantined. You see this right here. And hold on just a second. I'm going to get one more. I want to show you something here. And number 20, okay. Fauci to warn Senate of needless suffering and death. So you have these reporters in the Rose Garden, all right? You have these reporters in the Rose Garden trying to create. Give me number 17, MSNBC again. This is a big story to them. I want you to look. It's 3:04 in the morning. Means it's 5:04 a.m. Eastern time, right? This is their opening, all right? Number 16, NBC News. Don't ask me, ask China. Trump abruptly ends briefing when asked about China hostility. Really? Is that what happened exactly? Or was it another setup? Give the gatekeepers a hell of a little time here. Number 15. All right. This is what they had. This is all they had this morning. Nothing else with real news. Okay. Here's the group that was assembled this morning to take down the president. I want to show you this, number 12. And I'm going to get back to, here's Fauci, New York Times, number 11. Fauci to warn Senate of needless suffering and death. In an email to the New York Times reporter, Okay, late Monday night, Dr. Fauci laid out what he intended to tell senators. If we skip over the checkpoints and the guidelines to open America again, then we risk the danger of multiple outbreaks throughout the country. Now, that's not the danger we risk. Now, I want you to stop and think of something before I take another quick break here. Stop and think about this here. Let me show you. New York is getting to reopen some areas. Give me number 18. Number 18, New York is opening. New York regions allowed to reopen, okay? You see that? The Finger Lakes up there, Southern Tier up there along the border of Pennsylvania, and Mohawk Valley. Maybe up in the Catskills. I'll have to do a show, okay, if you didn't understand. I'll be playing in the Catskills. I won't be, where will I be? Will I be up there? Not Saturday night. No, because I'll be playing up there Sunday. All right, anyhow, in the Catskills there. New York region's allowed to reopen, right? Now, think about this. Okay, think about this. This is what you're allowed to resume in New York. Number 19, okay? New York businesses' activities to resume Friday. Landscaping and gardening. What? Really? Landscaping and gardening. Outdoor sports. Like you could go play tennis. Or you say outdoor, you can play croquet, right? You got the little mallet croquet. You can play that, right? Outdoor sports. Tennis courts, drive-in movie theaters, not walk-in, drive-in. This is a soft, slow opening up there in New York, in regions of New York. Folks, the determination to keep this country shut down, okay, to try to win an election, to remove Donald Trump, it's the only way they know how to do it. And let me give you this, and we're going to talk about this 3-minute ad that's being played in New York and other areas. But let me do this. Number 25. This is Joe Biden's campaign ad. Donald Trump didn't build a great economy. Remember, they all say this is Barack Hussein Obama's economy that Trump has, okay? Donald Trump didn't build a great economy. His failure to lead destroyed one. Interesting. I'll tell you right now, between now and November, getting the voters to say Donald Trump is the president that needs to be leading us back. It's quite a challenge in front of us, folks. Let's be honest. Take a brief break. We're going to come back and do one more segment before we have Georgia House Speaker David Ralston on with us at 9 o'clock. Take us to break.
Circuit World has complete queen bedroom packages at amazing prices. Get this queen bed, dresser and mirror, one nightstand, bedding set, and free 32-inch TV, all for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this complete queen bedroom set and sleep in style, also for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. What an incredible deal! Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
I'm Jeff Riblett, President of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
Hey!
been 4 generations of family ownership, tens of thousands of customers, and more Chevys than we'd ever be able to count. And more than 60 years later, when we say Days gets it done, we still mean it. With the North Georgia Mountains lowest Chevy prices, a huge selection, and outstanding customer care. See Days Chevrolet in Jasper, and let's get it done.
Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. Let me put up, I just sent a picture over. Whenever you can get it, bring it up. Now, President Trump is going to be, today is Tuesday, right? President Trump is going to be in Allentown, Pennsylvania. He's going to be going through there. He's going to be out there in the Lehigh Valley. All right. Now, Allentown is Lehigh County, and right next to it borders Northampton County, which went Republican for Donald Trump last time. Trump needs heavy votes in the Lehigh Valley. He will be there Thursday. So he just tweeted that out. I sent it to you. Is that there? Thanks a lot. There you go. He says, the tweet he just sent out 9 minutes ago, the President of the United States, looking forward to being in Allentown, Pennsylvania on Thursday. I love the state, and for very good reason. So I'm going to get my sister, which you know, Lee Snover. She is the chair of the Northampton County GOP, about 5 miles there outside of Allentown. We'll try to get her on about Wednesday or Thursday, see what's going on and keep up with that area, because I will tell you this, Biden is launching a big media buy, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, big media buy, saying Trump destroyed the economy, all right, by not reacting properly. Now, I know you say, well, that's not true, okay, but it is happening. So we'll try to get her on Wednesday or Thursday, get an update on PA, we want to keep an eye on that area. So let me go with this. All right. Now, as you well know, I have been I'm concerned about contact tracing. Remember, if you're new to the show, I told you 3 weeks ago, I said, my concern is contact tracing. All right. They're actually offering jobs. You can go online and see the jobs that are available for contact tracing. Okay. So give me number 2. All right. Now, this is Axios. I don't know if you've ever read Axios.com. And I watch MSNBC, and then they do the one big thing from Axios right before Morning Joe. And look at the headline here. Coronavirus Index Week 9, Americans hate contact tracing. Okay? So, let me tell you, Americans hate contact tracing. So let me just say something here. I'm going to, I want to read something to you. All right. All right. So here it is. I know already. My sister just texted me. She texted me Trump's tweet. Looking forward to being in Allentown, PA. So I got a tweet from my sister. All right. Just saying. So let me read this to you on contact tracing. All right. We are both negative. We are both negative. Okay. Now, what does that mean? So approximately a week ago, I did not touch the individual. I did not hug the individual. I did not do anything other than meet an individual at a parking lot to say hello, so we can social distance, say hello, ask a couple questions. Hey, you over here? Yeah, pull in real quick. Boom. So we talk. All right. The next day I get a phone call. Hey, I was just contacted because the other night we had some friends over and we were close, and we were just contacted by the health. They had to give our name to the health department. Who have you been with? Who have you been around? Now stop and think about this. Now, if you get a cold, I understand the virus. I get tired of the medical explanation of the virus to me. But in the real world, if you get a cold, do you have to go and tell them the last, and a nasty cold, the last 10 people? You go to, if you get the flu, do you have to tell them the last 10 people? Now, I don't know if it's just the fact that I've never lived in a pandemic and you haven't either. I don't think any of us has lived in a pandemic, okay? Or something that was created quite like this. But for me to say, okay, I just need to let you know that if I come up positive, I have to tell them that I, talk to you. What the hell? What do you mean you have to tell? Now, this happened a couple of days ago, so don't get all nervous. All right. This is not recent. I held on to the text to apply to this. No, they told me that if I come up positive, I have to give them a list of everybody I've been around. What? Contact tracing. Think of the last thing, no matter what it is in your life, that somebody was required to tell who they know, who they talk to, and who they've been around. So Americans hate contact tracing. Let's go to number 3. Okay. How likely are you to use a cell phone-based contact tracing system established by the CDC public health officials? Very somewhat likely, 51%. Not likely, 48%. So if the CDC or public officials would come up with a contact tracing cell phone system, your phone. 51% said they could be okay with that. Cell phone and internet provider. 63% say no. No, if the cell phone, internet, major tech companies, okay, 66. The federal government, 68. Americans are not okay with contact tracing. I seriously want to know from you, all right, if you get a phone call today and somebody says they gave your name to an agency and now said agency tells you you have to stay put for X days. I mean, what are we going to accept here? That is my question. Exactly what are we going to accept when it comes to contact tracing? I am not, all right, I will tell you this. I do. Here it is on number 5. Here is Jonathan Swan at on MSNBC. Americans hate contact tracing. I really think that this is opening people's eyes, okay, to a lot of stuff out there. All right. We cannot bail these states out. This is very concerning. And here it is. Let me give you just the same thing I just showed you, but it was on MSNBC this morning, number 6. How likely are you to use a cell phone-based contact tracing system established by, and that poll was out there, and you can go to the Axios.com and check it out. Now, let me say this, number 9. They have to stop the economy, and we have to stop them. Okay? They are wanting to make this the worst than the Great Depression, the worst in history, economic decline and disaster, just for an election now. And Fauci is definitely he's on the bandwagon to do it. Needless suffering and death, he's going to tell the Senate today, okay? That we have to stop. Are you going to watch NFL without fans? Are you going to watch college football without tailgating, okay, and fans? Are you going to? Half of the excitement and the emotion is the fans and the atmosphere. Are you going to watch empty stadiums? Are you? Are we never going to go to concerts again? Really? What happens when the summer concert series, where it's all over the United States, you take a blanket and there's a park and there's summer concert series? What happens? Americans will not accept this. I do not think we will. And Fauci needs to go. I mean, simply said. All right, so we're getting ready to have Georgia House Speaker David Ralston on. And let me say this, okay? I want to know, and you do too, and we have to watch. Look, nobody's talking about this. The states cannot get bailed out. They can't, all right? Illinois, you're broke. California, you're broke. New York, you're broke. Even red states have an enormous amount of bond debt, okay? Can we pay it? But when you read, and I said this morning, when you read articles that tell you a 14% cut to education would mean another $1.3 billion taken from Georgia's children's education next year alone. See, Kemp said out 14%, no matter who, no exceptions, right? So we need to know when the Georgia State Legislature comes back to work, what's that look like? And counties get grants. Counties, hey, tag fees, right? Counties get SPLOST money. So from your city, and I told you yesterday, this is a fine time this came up. I don't want to quote it because I don't have it up. City of Blue Ridge is going to discuss Monday, is it? Budget shortfalls, right? The possible budget shortfall. Georgia always says we have to balance the budget. Our job, our Constitution says we have to balance the budget. But the budget that they have in place, is there enough tax revenue? Because what the state of Georgia has to do, what your county has to do by law in the state of Georgia, and I don't know where you're at, but in the state of Georgia, your county has to reconcile, all right? Now, I know the federal government has no idea what reconciling anything is, but in Georgia, your county has to reconcile, your cities have to reconcile. So at the end of the year, if you have a budget shortfall, okay, and let's just say your budget was 10 million and you went 10,100,000, you have to adjust, bring money in from your contingency fund, your rainy day fund, so that it'll balance. Georgia Constitution says that your budget has to balance. Absolutely. Right? And they do that. They adjust budgets at the end of every year, a lot of counties and city, to reconcile. How are we going to be able to reconcile your county, reconcile the states, reconcile the cities? How are we going to be able to do that? Now, why did Governor Kemp, let me just say this, let me throw it out there, okay? Why did Governor Brian Kemp come out and say, boom, 14% across the board, okay? All of your bond credit ratings, all of your state credit ratings, okay? Georgia has a AAA credit rating, right? All your credit rating municipal agencies are sending out notifications to states, cities, counties, whatever. You will need to cut X to maintain your credit rating. We need to see you fiscally tighten your belt. That's right. It's happening. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have Georgia House Speaker David Ralston on the line with us, and we'll talk about how are we going to get through this pandemic financially in the state of Georgia right after these messages.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
As Georgia opens back up, it's time to come back to Days Chevrolet in Jasper. With huge savings on the North Georgia Mountain's biggest selection of pre-owned vehicles. All makes, all models, all with low miles and a super low price. Or buy new and get 0% financing for 84 months on every single Silverado 1500 or Equinox at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done.
Find new roads.
Circuit World has complete queen bedroom packages at amazing prices. Get this queen bed, dresser and mirror, one nightstand, bedding set, and free 32-inch TV, all for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this complete queen bedroom set and sleep in style, also for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. What an incredible deal! Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
I'm Jeff Riblett, President of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
It's been 4 generations of family ownership, tens of thousands of customers, and more Chevys than we'd ever be able to count. And more than 60 years later, when we say Days gets it done, we still mean it. With the North Georgia Mountain's lowest Chevy prices, a huge selection, and outstanding customer care. See Days Chevrolet in Jasper, and let's get it done.
Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Okay, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Joining us now, Georgia Speaker of the House, David Ralston. Before we bring in our guest, I just want to, there's, as Yogi Berra would say, it's deja vu all over again. And I want to start out talking with the Speaker of the House. Here is a headline that I pulled up, just a story headline I pulled up. And this is from July 27, 2010. It says, Georgia once again faces budget shortfall. Governor orders hundreds of millions of dollars in more cuts. Now, that is from 2010. And Georgia House Speaker David Ralston, he was sworn in as Speaker January 11th, 2010. Mr. Speaker, welcome this morning.
Thank you, Brian. It's great to be with you. Great to be with your listeners.
The reason I opened up that way is you were sworn in 2010 at during some very tough economic times that Georgia was going through at that time. Did you think, or have you thought, hey, I'm going to be right back in somewhat the same position as Speaker of the House, looking for budget cuts again?
Well, you don't. You try to be prepared for all scenarios. I think the kind of cuts that we're going to be looking at later in the summer are of such a greater magnitude than what we dealt with in 2010 that there's really no way you can compare the two. And that's not to say that the ones we did in 2010 were small. They weren't. They were. We had cut the budget through the 08 and 09, and then the worst of the cuts came in the 2010 session, which, as you pointed out, was my first session as Speaker. And I can tell you that wasn't a really pleasant way to begin one's tenure in that job. Cutting a budget, as I tell members of the House frequently, it's a painful, challenging process because you are touching some family, you're touching a job, you're touching a small business, you're touching many, many things here in the state. And so to answer your question was you always expect that there will be ups and downs in the economy, but this hit is so far beyond anything that any of us could have imagined that I don't know how you could wrap your brain around the kind of problems that we're having now and going to have to deal with.
Well, I'm glad we're able to talk about that, because I wanted to highlight and start out the differences and the magnitude of this compared to what we went through in 2010. Now, the governor has mandated, and I know the governor's budget team and the Senate's appropriations and the House appropriations. Everybody is working already on the budget. So when you go back in, there's some numbers to put together to look at. But he has a 14%, and he says no exceptions. And obviously, you are hearing from the groups. Is the 14% what Georgia needs? It has a AAA bond rating, but due to this pandemic and the shortfalls in revenue, are bond companies and these rating companies saying, "Hey, we need to see some fiscal tightening to maintain your ratings"? Has this got any tie to that?
Well, I think every decision that we make on the budget has a tie to our bond rating. And certainly this is no different. We maintained our AAA bond rating through the 2010 session with the cuts that we went through. I think what the bond markets look for is a stable, responsible budget that budgets wisely. There's no unnecessary, frivolous spending in there. So I think we have a pretty good idea of what it is that they're looking for, and I'm hopeful that we will make it. You are correct, though. Our budget teams, the House budget team, along with the Senate and the governor's office, have been working now. The House has for at least 3 weeks or more, looking at some preliminary numbers. The 14% was arrived at by a joint decision of all three. The answer to your question is I hope, and I really mean this, I hope that 14% will be enough. I think there's still some question about that. The reason I say that is if you look last week at the preliminary April numbers, we took over a 35% hit during the month of April. So 14%, that's a lot. That's a substantial amount of a cut. And I just hope that it will be sufficient.
Let me ask you this, with the 14%, and I want to say, as you well know, the Georgia State Constitution is you have to balance your budget. And my understanding is that goes all the way down the line as Georgia State Constitution. Counties have to reconcile, cities have to reconcile, the state has to reconcile. Am I correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. I guess my question, as candid as can be, do we have enough revenue? Because when you set a budget, you set it on tax anticipation. You anticipate. I mean, hotel taxes are off 50% right now. Tags, car tag fees, things like that. The fees and things of that nature are off 43%. Some numbers like that. Corporate income tax down 70%. So when you start putting all these in with just regular, other taxes and fees, how much money is going to have to come out of the rainy day fund just to adjust to balance this year's budget? Are we going to have to do something to pay the bills for this year?
Well, we've already pulled money out of the rainy day fund earlier in the pandemic, and I'm hoping that we will not have to pull any more out. I certainly don't think we'll be putting any more in this year. But I want to pause right here, Brian, and just say, thank God for the leadership of Governor Nathan Deal, who worked with us during the last year or two of his administration to build the rainy day fund up to a level that it had never been to before. He left more money than any governor in the history of the state. And that's not being talked about, I don't think, enough, but that's a huge consideration right now. But the rainy day fund is important. I'm hoping that we will not be touching it. If we have to get into it anymore, then we have some really severe problems. I don't think you'll see us get into it during the appropriations process, because who knows what happens down the road if we have a spike in cases later in the summer or fall, or if some of the people that are projecting a second wave of the COVID-19 sometime in the fall or winter before we come back, then we know we'll have some rainy day funds there to deal with emergency items. Has it been determined you're going to go back June 11th? Is that a final date for returning for the last days of the session? Yeah, I think it is. That was a date that excuse me, I proposed that date. And I did that because I wanted to allow our budget people and all the members, frankly, of both the House and the Senate to have the most current real-time revenue data that we could give them. And we will not have the final data, official data from April until the very end of May. So we'll go in on the 11th. We have 11 days left in 11 legislative days left in the session. We obviously have to get a balanced budget to the governor by June 30, or the departments and agencies in state government here in Georgia will shut down because they will not have any money.
Okay, well, with looking at the 14% cuts, I don't know if it's been officially said, but I'm going to say obviously, and maybe it's not. Some things are going on the back burner, like the teacher pay raises and some other things that you anticipated to put more money into this year.
Don't think there's any question about that. Before the pandemic, we were having a little bit of a debate over a teacher pay raise or a tax cut. I think that, quite frankly, both of those are probably out the window for this year, and as well as there are probably many other spending items. This is what I think a few people don't understand, and that is we focus so much on Washington stuff, and we focus on the budget issues up there. They don't have a budget discussion like we do. Have you heard anything about a balanced budget during the pandemic coming out of DC? Have you heard anything about making cuts? No. I mean, they're spending trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars because they can spend without any restrictions, without worrying about a deficit. So, because there's not as much attention paid to the state budget process, our discussions on the budget are completely different. We have to balance a budget, and we do every year, and we will this year. And it's going to be painful. And I have a lot of people that are reaching out with ideas to help various businesses and industries. But state government's going to be kind of limited in terms of what we can do in that regard, because we simply don't have the resources. Well, let me reword that. We don't have the ability to spend ourselves into debt that they have at the federal level.
Well, yeah, you're correct. On the federal level, we've seen trillions of dollars being printed with not one word of cut 14% here or 10% there, not even a discussion of it. And that's what I'm getting at now. That pushes it down to the states trying to handle this financial crisis, because, when do some of the economists that you deal with here in the state of Georgia, when did they look as far as opening back Georgia as the V starting north? What's the anticipation? I know you're waiting to see, April, March, April, May numbers to get a balance to try to figure out the direction. But what are economists telling you in the state of Georgia that revenue will start back north?
You can't find a consensus yet, and let me just answer that by saying this. The governor, I guess it's been at least 2 weeks ago now, lifted the restrictions, most of the shelter-in-place restrictions, as they related to businesses in terms of restaurants and retail and other things of that nature. And you know, it strikes me as interesting that many restaurants and many retail establishments have not gone back to work, you know, because they don't have the confidence yet in the infrastructure that we have in place to keep people safe. You know, I think a lot of people had concerns about the governor's decision, but the truth of the matter is that he said you can reopen, and there's a significant part of the economy that has not reopened. So, you know, I mean, I watch the TV and I hear, you know, Mnuchin and some of the guys in D.C. talk about the economy bouncing back late in the year, and then that everybody is talking about that we're going to have a great year next year. So I guess to the extent that there is discussion, then the feeling is that we're probably very, very late in this year and maybe even into next year before it bounces back. But I think it's really too early to say at the state level until we get the businesses have the confidence to go back to work. I think there's going to be other. We're going to come up on some critical dates in another couple of months. For example, reopening schools. That's going to be a very critical date, and probably nothing will send a message of safety and some return to normalcy as will that decision. You know, there's going to be things start that they're talking about happening, you know, and I know this is recreational, but apparently the baseball season is going to kick off around the 1st of July, but in a very modified way. I think I'm like a lot of people. I don't care how modified it is. I want to see a baseball game this year. You know, I think that'd be great therapy for us. But I think we got a little bit. I think we're not to a point where we can really project here at the state level when the economy may bounce back.
Let me ask you this, because I'm reading several articles. I read an article a couple weeks ago concerning the budget shortfalls across state lines all across this country and so on and so forth. What say you, continued cuts or a coronavirus, and this is not putting you on the spot, surtax? That's actually been floated around in some places in other states, a coronavirus surtax. Where do we stop cuts and the lack of revenue and have to look at other sources of revenue?
Well, I can tell you that I've had no shortage of suggestions brought to me to raise taxes or to tax things that maybe we're not taxing now. My view has been, Brian, that, you know, when you have unemployment running at historic levels now, I think that we're at levels that we haven't been at since the Great Depression, not recession, but depression back in the 1930s. When you have that kind of unemployment, and when you have the uncertainty that people are feeling, I'm not sure I don't think that's a good environment in which to raise taxes. Not to mention the fact that I just have a built-in bias against raising taxes. I have not heard an idea for a surtax, but a surtax is just another form of tax. I think obviously we're in an unprecedented time, but let's see what it looks like with after the cuts, because where are you going to take money from folks if they're not working or if their business is closed down? I mean, you're wanting to take more of their money for taxes, and they don't have any money. So, it just doesn't make sense to me.
I got two more quick things and we'll close up, and I appreciate you always coming and spending time with us. The federal government right now is talking about another package, $1 trillion+ package that would involve the states. What are you hearing, and do you think there's a portion that the federal government can help states in things like we're talking about this morning, but not in areas of like maybe some blue states that have some pension problems, have some economic problems before this ever started? What are you hearing on the federal level as far as maybe some help for states?
Well, the problem with the federal level is you have one house of their Congress, the U.S. House of Representatives, that is controlled by liberal Democrats, and you have the Senate is controlled by conservative Republicans. And so for a bill to get across the finish line up there, it has to be the subject of some compromise. I know there were items in those earlier stimulus packages that I was just astounded that they would think about putting things completely unrelated to the pandemic in those stimulus packages. But, that's what members of the Democratic House wanted to do, and they had the votes to do it. And so if we were going to help people, the Senate had to compromise. I mean, that's just kind of the nature of the game. I know that people don't like to hear that. It's a dirty word, but it's reality. You mentioned the pension issue. The state of Illinois has mismanaged its public pension program for decades, and I think the last I heard they were somewhere like $50 or $60 million in the hole, and they wanted this money to fill that hole up, I guess, so they could keep on mismanaging it. I was shocked that would even be considered. I know that Speaker Pelosi really wants to have a mail-in election in November. She wanted to put money in the budget so that the states could do that. We've had discussions about that on your program earlier. I think it's really interesting that she wants a mail-in election so bad. It sort of makes you wonder who she thinks would win a mail-in election. So I mean, all these things are not assistance for small business. They're not assistance for individuals. Now, this package that is being talked about now, obviously, is for state and local governments, and they're going to need help. And obviously, we're waiting as the state of Georgia to see if there's going to be any money for the states, and that would then be subject to the budgeting process here in Georgia. So, this has been watching Washington take relief money for the COVID-19 pandemic, and all the things they have done with that money has been an exercise in frustration.
Let me ask you this, because you did say state and local. Are you hearing from your representatives there, the House representatives? Are you hearing from many of them across the state that they're hearing from their county officials and their city officials that they represent, they're dealing with a budget shortfall also? Are you hearing that from your representatives?
I am, and I'm also hearing that they're hearing from their local school systems. I think as much as the counties and cities, I think our school administrators are probably anxiously awaiting what happens on this as much as anybody. And I know we got very, very fine leadership in Gilmer County and Fannin and Dawson, and I'm very proud of that. I was on a call last week with Dr. Downs at the Chamber Group, and she's doing a great job. But I'm concerned we're going to make her job a lot harder as a state. And I think that they're watching. All the school people are watching what we do very intensely, as are counties and cities. I have heard from some around the state, Brian, and the reality is that Georgia is a very diverse state, and we have counties in the state that are have a small population and a small tax base, and they have their own unique set of needs. So I know that whether it's a county like that, or whether it's Fulton or Gwinnett or one of the larger counties, they're all watching and waiting.
Well, if money's not coming in, it's not coming in. They are, and I agree with you. I know several of the people you bring up in the North Georgia area. Great group of people, but it doesn't change the fact that if the money's not coming in, and they are great people then in several of these counties. But that's why I wanted to ask that. The last thing, you're going to have about 10 days left when you get down there. What besides the budget, which that's the big one, is that going to overshadow other things getting done, or will we still see some of the bills? And do you know any of them that are going to make it to the floor in the governor's desk that you still expect to get out? Or again, will the budget overshadow those 10 days and make it hard to get some of those other bills to the governor's desk?
Well, I think the budget will overshadow everything. Having said that, I know there is an appetite in both the House and the Senate and in the governor's office to see if we can get past just a few bills that were of high priority to each of the chambers. What I have done is ask the leadership team in the House to prioritize based on whether we take up maybe 2 House bills or 5 House bills or 10 House bills. To prioritize those. We're also encouraging. And the reason for doing that, obviously, is so we don't have to make those decisions when we go in. We're going to have to use our time wisely and move quickly and with dispatch. I have encouraged the committees in the House to meet. We got all these virtual platforms that we use, and when I get off this call, I'll be doing 2 or 3 of those later today, Zoom and other things like that. But I've encouraged them to meet and take and go through some of these bills so that we can do as much of the work prior to June 11 that we can. And then around June 1, I expect that we will go back to having in-person meetings at the Capitol. It's hard to say. I mean, the budget is the one thing that we have to do each session. We're going to do it. We're going to pass a balanced budget. And if that leaves no time for anything else, we'll be back in January, and we can pick up those issues at that time.
Mr. Speaker, anything today that you wanted to make sure you got an opportunity to say to the viewers and the citizens of Georgia that we haven't covered? Is there anything you'd like to share before we close?
Well, there is one thing. You know, Brian, I tell you, I just want to say, and I've told many of these groups, both individually and as groups, how absolutely amazed I have been at the way that our first responders have stepped up to the plate. And I mean, all across the community. It doesn't have to, I mean, EMS, the medical community, and one of the greatest programs I've heard is in Gilmer County with the buses taking meals out to the kids that wouldn't get one if it weren't for their delivery. And so, you know, it just reminds us that we live in we know we live in a beautiful place, but it reminds us that we live around some of the best people anywhere that have done, that are doing just an amazing job. And I'm very, very proud, and I'm just proud to be from the area. And I had to give that shout out.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We appreciate it. We know you got a busy day with meetings, and we always thank you for coming on and talking to the people of Georgia, your district, and across the state. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Brian. Have a great day.
You too. All right, Georgia House Speaker David Ralston. We're digging into it because, you know, I only know how to ask the questions just in a direct manner. Are we going to have enough money to pay the bills? And I don't have any other way to put it. I did want to highlight that Georgia House Speaker David Ralston was the day he was sworn in, and I had that up here a minute ago. You know, that was January 11th, 2010, and I think we remember the Economic Times then in Georgia. And he gave a big shout out to former Governor Nathan Deal about the rainy day fund, which they've been able to use some of it to offset and make things continue to go, keep things moving forward. So anyhow, as you heard right there, there's no comparison as far as the financial hit. And I've been talking about it for weeks, who's going to pay the bills. I'm going to take a brief break, and we'll come back and wrap up the show.
Circuit World has complete queen bedroom packages at amazing prices. Get this queen bed, dresser and mirror, one nightstand, bedding set, and free 32-inch TV, all for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this complete queen bedroom set and sleep in style, also for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. What an incredible deal! Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
I'm Jeff Riblet, President of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
It's been 4 generations of family ownership, tens of thousands of customers, and more Chevys than we'd ever be able to count. And more than 60 years later, when we say Days gets it done, we still mean it. With the North Georgia Mountains lowest Chevy prices, a huge selection, and outstanding customer care. See Days Chevrolet in Jasper, and let's get it done.
Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done.
As Georgia opens back up, it's time to come back to Days Chevrolet in Jasper. With huge savings on the North Georgia Mountains' biggest selection of pre-owned vehicles. All makes, all models, all with low miles and a super low price. Or buy new and get 0% financing for 84 months on every single Silverado 1500 or Equinox at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done.
Find new roads.
Hey, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live. Where did my phone go? Morning show. Show them how they get in touch with us. Emily, I'll tell you what, when we started this morning, I have to tell you, I didn't know if I'd make it through. It looks like I could pull my sorry rear end across the finish line this morning. So, Emily, great job as always on Tuesday mornings. And let me say this, okay? Everything's a big word. It's tied to money, okay? So let me say, as you were listening to Georgia House Speaker David Ralston talk about hearing more from educators or school systems across the state, everything's tied to money. There's carrots out there, okay? Attendance, okay? So if your kid's not in school, they're not attending, how are you getting the federal money, the state money that all goes to attendance? School lunch programs, how do you get that? How about the graduation rate? Okay, graduation, all right? Okay. You know, everything. So they're trying to figure out now, how do we tie attendance, graduation rate? It's all tied to money, okay? It's just like in-school suspension. In-school suspension is the way to go, because if the kid's in school, they can throw them over in the sweat hog. If you don't remember that reference, they can throw them over in the sweat hog room, give them in-school suspension, and then still check off, okay, attendance. It's all tied to money. You're going to see some things happen, and I have brought it up here. You need to ask. Okay, another thing the speaker said, and I want to get moving along. I don't want to get stuck, but the other thing the speaker said, there's some very good people. This is true. This is true. I get an opportunity. I was last night in White County. I was with very good people. There's very good people out there in these counties that are in these positions. But the reality is the money's not coming in. And I am telling you, as citizens out there, go talk to your Board of Commissioners and tell them to listen to the interview that I just had with the Speaker of the House, and at least wait 6 months on any capital project spending. Serious, okay? Now, let me look in the camera, because and I keep saying that because I love so many of these people. They're dear friends, but the facts are the facts. I have seen this in 2010, the economic downturn in these counties and trying to pay the bills. So maybe you don't buy the ambulance. Hey, don't get mad at me. Maybe you don't buy, maybe everything goes on freeze. Okay, now let me just say this, and this is not derogatory with law enforcement, but you take a county with 40 cars. They got 40 pieces of equipment, okay? It's not uncommon. We'll say the sheriff's office, 40 pieces of equipment. They try to rotate 5 out. So about every 5 years, they're rotating out their cars. So they're always updated, the technology and everything. Not a big deal. I could see it, all right? Normal circumstances. But you freeze that now. You freeze the ambulance. You freeze the new addition on the school. You freeze capital spending. You call every Board of Education member, you call the sheriff, you call the commissioners, all right, and be nice. Don't be ugly, be nice, and say, listen to the interview that BKP and House Speaker David Ralston on 5/12/2020 at 9 a.m. Listen to that interview, because as he said, this is no comparison to 2010. And listen to the interview. Hope hope 14% is the cut. So I don't care who you are out there. You've got to talk to everybody about capital spending. 6 month to 1 year freeze. I say every county in the state of Georgia. Now, I think every county in the United States of America. So if you're out there, regardless of where you're at, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Michigan, Utah, every county in the United States of America should stop, and city, capital spending projects freeze 6 months, period. Okay. Now, let me tell you something. They're going to stop issuing bonds. And the reason, and Georgia has a AAA bond rating. And what is happening is economists and these companies, these bond companies, are going to these states and saying, freeze right now. Now, what we need is for us to see you as solvent. You got to pay the bills. The bond debt is enormous. Go look at Georgia's bond debt. Now, Georgia brags, and like I said, I'm not knocking these guys and gals. Am I supposed to say gals down there in Atlanta? I'm not knocking them, okay? I'm really not. But you only have to show, keep this in mind, you only have to show on the Georgia state budget bond debt payments, not the total. So let me say this, right or wrong, you research it. So let's say the state of Georgia sells $100 million worth of bonds to build X. And in the $100 million of bonds, their payment every year is $960,000 or $500,000, $500,000. That's all they have to show on the Georgia state budget, not the outstanding debt. That's it. That's all they have to show. So every state in the United States, not just Georgia, that's where I'm at, has an enormous amount of bond debt, enormous. Every state has pension issues, some small, some large. And there are states that are just completely, totally bankrupt, no hope of coming out. Illinois, why do you think Mitch McConnell, and I'm going down a road I didn't want to go, but I'm going to just tell you, why do you think Mitch McConnell said try bankruptcy? Because Illinois will not come out of this. Not because COVID-19, because look at their Georgia House Speaker, all right? Don't want to make a comparison, but go look up. I don't have time. I forget his name. He is, my opinion, one of the most corrupt men in America. He has been the Georgia House Speaker for 30-some years. He is the Democrat political corrupt machine of Illinois. Go look at his name. Damn it, I knew I was going to do it. Georgia, and I've done stories on him. Illinois House Speaker. Hell, they talk about Trump and Ivanka. Yeah, Michael Madigan, okay? The current Speaker of the Illinois House of Representatives is Michael Madigan, Democrat from Chicago, who represents the 22nd District. They currently hold a majority. Hold on, I want to get this. Okay, you want some money to Illinois? I got to throw this out here. Okay. State Speaker since 1997. 1997. That's how long he's been Speaker of the Illinois State House. They're corrupt as hell. We're not sending our damn money to them. Anyhow, so as I was saying that's why McConnell said, go bankrupt. Illinois can't come back. New Jersey can't come back. New York, I doubt, can come back. Okay, California can't come back. All right. I mean, what did Trump? They're all mad because Trump said shithole countries. What if I was to say shithole states? What if I said that? But I'm not going to. Anyhow, moving right along. You got to go and tell your county officials, your state officials, your county officials, your city officials, your education, Board of Education officials, stop any capital spending for 6 months. Then put in a review. Then do a review, okay? Because what happens is these men and women, they like to spend things and they like to build things. And you know why? Get mad at me because they get a plaque. You go in, oh, this was built and commissioner so-and-so was in charge and the other commissioner. They get, don't spend my tax money so you can get a plaque during your administration, or that you could hope what you build gets you reelected. I got to put it out there as candid as can be. Won't say it again. No capital spending for 6 months. You heard the interview. Review in 6 months to move forward with any capital spending. Sorry. It's just the money's not coming in. Now, who's going to pay the bills? Interesting. Let's see what happens. I got to get away from that because it just doesn't work out for me that way. Let me run through a couple things. Joe Biden, all right? Now, this is a 2-minute. Let me go with this. Number 22, all right? Joe, sleepy Joe Biden, right, in the basement there. Trump supporters. Trump supporters. You know, I was over in White County last night, and you know, my favorite thing I like to say is my icebreaker. It's my icebreaker. So I opened the door of this place to say hello, and it was, you know, it was a hair salon or something like that. It was next to the place where I was doing the debate. So I go in there, and it's my icebreaker, and I said, well, don't come out the door. I got to run a wire here for a minute, and don't come out the door. And I looked at the two ladies, and I said, you know something I don't know anything about? Anything about? They said, no. I said, a bad hair day. I don't know anything about a bad hair day. They didn't laugh, nothing. That's my best material. Anyhow, no, I'm not putting this on my head. All right, so that's where I got that. Anyhow, Biden, all right, in the basement. Trump supporters, I being one, we have our work cut out for us. If, please don't get angry, if Donald Trump wins a second term, not counting all the other historical things that he has done as president of the United States and the last campaign, this will be another historical. I mean, Trump can't do anything that's not historical. Every time he does something, it's historical. A win will be historical because it's unusual. You just got to understand, it is unusual, and not very often do I remember not very often that you're reelected with the kind of economic numbers we will be seeing in November. Facts are facts. Fauci, the deep state, I know you get mad. They're determined, the deep state media, to push this economy over the cliff and make sure it is not moving at all and the engine is not running in November so it can be Donald J. Trump's fault. We understand that, okay? Herbert Hoover. I can't get into history and chop it up and then but Herbert Hoover went to, okay? Herbert Hoover, I'm going to get in trouble with this. He went to the stock market, right? He went there. He went to the New York Stock Exchange days or a couple weeks before the crash. Talked to him. When it crashed, Herbert Hoover said, we have to grow out of it. Now, I'm just quickly, I know people saying, wait a minute, you need to read. I got it. But Herbert Hoover basically said, we got to grow out of this. We got to grow out of it. And then you're hearing people, you're hearing people say what? That this is not, I've heard everything. This is not calling, okay, for Herbert Hoover reaction. This pandemic's calling for, okay, a Roosevelt reaction. Okay? Roosevelt wanted to stack the courts, right? The New Deal, all right? The New Deal. The WPA, is that what it was called? But there was this big New Deal that he proposed, all right? Herbert Hoover wanted to grow out of it. You do realize that we did not grow out of the Great Depression with Roosevelt-type New Deal. The economy didn't grow. And it adds debt. This is a Democrat thing. It adds debt, so I'm not trying to say we should do this. It was World War II that pulled us out of the recession, not anything Roosevelt did in his New Deal. So you should read that, by the way. That being said, I got two things. I got 2 minutes here. Joe Biden's got a campaign here. We have an economic crisis. Number 23, it's a 3-minute video. He's running in Pennsylvania. He's running in Wisconsin. He's running in Michigan. Number 23, we have an economic crisis because we have a public health crisis. Number 24, we have a public health crisis because he refused to act. And then we got number 25. This is a 3-minute infomercial. He is running with millions of dollars in the media. Joe Biden is. And number 25, Donald Trump didn't build a great economy. His failure to lead destroyed one. Let me go from another angle real quick, okay? You know, I like studying Watergate. I like studying Watergate. And I like studying history period. I got 2 minutes. So remember when Steve Grinnell, okay? Always remember when Donald Trump picks anybody, if the media is satisfied with the individual, we got a problem. But if they immediately attack, remember Grinnell, and by the way, Steve Grinnell is gay. I don't know why I had to say that. Just like the Asian lady yesterday called China. All right. I didn't have to say it, but all right, they're attacking a gay man. All right. Steve Grinnell has no intelligence experience, and not he does not have intelligence. He is the acting director of the National Intelligence, Richard Grinnell. You know what he decided to do? He decided to declassify information about Obama administration officials who were behind the unmasking of Michael Flynn. You know what I want? I want Barack Hussein Obama's ass out there, and I want him to have to stand and go like this and then sit down, and I want some jackass congressman to look at him and say, Mr. President, what did you know and when did you know it? Huh? Mr. President. Or get let's say it's Clapper. When did the president know and what did he know? Let's get that, right? Let me tell you something. It went all the way to the top, and we know it. You know it. The American people know it. I'll be back tomorrow to continue to tell you how it develops, I guess. I made it through 2 hours, Emily. I didn't think it'd happen. Emily, you have a great day. You have a great day. I'll be back. Don't forget. One more time, put up the phone numbers there. You can always contact me. Don't say you can't get in touch with me. It won't be true. See you Wednesday.